Let's talk about up bow staccato, what it is, what it should sound like, and how to practice it in order to reach a high level of performance. Up bow staccato means you are playing multiple successive up bow staccato notes, like so. Depending on the piece and the musical effect the composer is trying to achieve, this could be any number of notes. In the example I just played from Beethoven Minuet in G, it is groups of 4 in the first half of the trio, but then groups of 3 in the second half of the trio. I'll demonstrate. Before we get into specifics, I want to tell you that this video is a really detailed explanation. The up bow staccato is much harder to describe and define than it is to execute. It may start to seem like I am getting really bogged down, but it really is necessary and important, so hang in there with me and I promise it will all be worth it. Step 1, break the motion itself down into its most elemental form. During the execution of the up bow staccato, the hand and the bow are literally stopping on the string and then restarting. It happens so fast that it seems like the bow is continuously moving, but it really isn't. And you could go even slower to practice. The bow is going like this, then stopping. Then the hand, along with the arms, is starting it up again and repeating the whole loop over and over. So it's stop, set, play, stop, set, play. Making the stop, making it look smooth and effortless comes with practice. This light, smooth, effortless sound is usually the kind of sound we want from up bow staccato passages. Step 2 is to practice the up bow staccato from this elemental form of the motion like so. Play one note, then stop, then check your hand, your arm weight, your trajectory, then play another note. In order to check on your contact, wiggle the string. So I'm going to show you both of these now. So. Before I start each note, I'm feeling the weight of my arm into the bow. I'm flexing my fingers. I'm making sure that the bow is going. All right, going in the right direction, I should say. And then I play. You really do need to do it this slow. I even always suggest do it this slow before you add the metronome. All right, just to get the feeling of the bow in the up bow staccato. I'm still playing it very rhythmically, okay? The string wiggle is literally what it sounds like. I am wiggling the string with the bow hair, and this is so important. This is the point, this is what the bow hair is doing right before the bow makes sound, okay? And then I play. And I would even suggest starting that slowly, so if you need to. If you're having trouble getting the tone, like the bow is sliding, set, wiggle, set, wiggle, set, wiggle. Okay? Wiggle, play, wiggle, play, wiggle, play. Really setting the bow intentionally like that each time. Important point to remember is that this is the fundamental element to the up bow staccato. It's the bow stopping and starting over and over again in succession. And so doing this exercise practices the motion at a micro level, this set, string wiggle, play. Once you feel very comfortable, like you really understand this basic motion, the next step is to add some rhythm to it via the metronome. Like all things involving bow technique, the metronome is a must. Using it is a non-negotiable. To begin with, you want to make this exaggerated stopping and starting motion with the metronome going. Set wiggle, set wiggle, set wiggle. Wiggle, play, wiggle, play. I started playing on the offbeats there. That's fine, as long as it's rhythmical, okay? This kind of rhythmical, slow, intentional motion will build lots of control in your hand and arm, which is the #1 factor when it comes to being successful with the up bow staccato. Control. Step 3, practice it slowly on a scale. You will hear me say this often about specific techniques like this. When you have something new, something challenging, try and separate it out on a scale you're very familiar with. I'm going to use G major because it's a very familiar scale, and it has the added benefit because this piece is in G major. The 2-octave G major scale goes in all of the right places to play this trio correctly. I'm going to play it on G major in groups of 4, a nice even number that my brain can keep up with, and even when it's super tired or has just done a ton of homework, etc., I'll be able to play it successfully. I'll play the entire scale now, so play along with me, and also remember there are timestamps in the description so you can move back and forth through the video as you need to. To challenge yourself, you could do some down bow staccato. Remember, get it up to speed on the scale before you get it up to speed on the piece. You can still be practicing the piece, all right? But use the scale as a place to really learn this fast motion, okay? Now, step 4 is to keep yourself in check with the metronome a little bit every day and increase the speed gradually over time. Don't just practice slowly a little bit and then say, oh, I've got it rhythmically. Set a goal with your teacher. The trio usually goes around maybe 140, 145. And so you want to make sure that you're keeping check on yourself and increasing it a little bit every day. Remember, you can't learn to play fast at the last minute. It's not physically possible. At least, not physically possible in any kind of way that will produce a musical result. You have to start early and do a little each day. Also, make the speed its own isolated goal by getting to your goal tempo on the scale first while you're getting up to speed on the piece. For example, let's use the Beethoven again. The trio with all the up bow staccato should have a tempo of around 140 to 145 for the quarter note. In this case, you would want to have the goal of getting up to 145 on the scale before you get to 145 in the piece. While you are moving toward this goal, practice the trio at a slower tempo, one where you are really in control and can play with a great sound. This way, you are really isolating the motion and the speed and teaching it to your hand really well before trying to go fast in the piece, which could lead to all sorts of bad habits if you go too fast, too early. And that's up bow staccato. Try this stuff out. Let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment down below. And if you need that G major scale just by itself, I got a video all about that and you can watch it right here.